Kyrie just shook the NBA by calling out LeBron like never before. And now Luka is caught in the middle of a storm no one saw coming. This isn't just drama. It's a warning that could change everything in the league.
I warned my brother when he went to the Lakers. You can never be safe around that snake.
Nobody expected this. Kyrie Irving, who's been keeping a low profile in Dallas, focusing on his life and family, suddenly said something on stream about Luka Dončić possibly joining the Los Angeles Lakers, and the internet exploded overnight. What made it hit different is how calm Kyrie was. No rant, no long post, just a quiet statement, like someone who's already seen this story play out before. That's why the clip went viral. When you hear it, it feels like he's hinting at something bigger than just basketball, that he seemed to be talking about the influence around the Lakers, the Hollywood spotlight, big agencies like Clutch Sports Group, and the way stars like LeBron James have shaped teams over the years. Now, people are wondering if Luka could be next in that pattern. So before jumping to conclusions, it's worth looking at the full picture, because the Lakers today aren't just a normal basketball team. They are part of a much bigger system.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
When Luka Dončić was suddenly traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, it caught everyone off guard. There were no long build-ups or clear warning signs. Just a shocking move that changed his entire situation overnight and put him into one of the most spotlight-heavy environments in sports online. The reaction wasn't just about basketball. People started talking about how big-market teams like the Lakers come with intense media attention, branding pressure, and strong business influence from agencies like Clutch Sports Group. In that sense, Luka wasn't just changing teams. He was stepping into a much bigger spotlight where everything is analyzed and amplified. That's why comments from Kyrie Irving got so much attention. He spoke calmly on stream, but fans read between the lines, thinking he was referring to what it feels like to be part of that environment. Not as a conspiracy or hidden plan, but as the reality of being a superstar in a franchise where pressure, expectations, and narratives are always running in the background. In the end, it's less about a script and more about how different life becomes when you join a team like the Lakers, where basketball, business, and media attention all collide at the highest level.
Try to do whatever I could do to help the kid out, be the best player he can be.
Oh, that's not all. Remember when LeBron started screaming at Kyrie mid-game like he was his master?
As we go back to Sage Steele in the studio.
Hey, Mark, yeah, game 2 of our doubleheader is underway in
A lot of what you wrote blends real NBA talk with a lot of online rumors and unverified claims. So it helps to separate the basketball from the speculation. First, there's been no real-world confirmed trade sending Luka Dončić to the Los Angeles Lakers. So any storyline built around him getting moved overnight is hypothetical, not something that actually happened. Second, comments attributed to Kyrie Irving are being interpreted online in many different ways, but most of that is fan speculation rather than confirmed statements about hidden systems or behind-the-scenes control. Third, the parts connecting LeBron James, legal cases, or specific criminal allegations are not supported by verified court findings or credible reporting. There is no confirmed evidence linking him to the claims being discussed in that narrative. If we strip it down to the actual basketball angle, the real idea being discussed is simpler. The Lakers are one of the most high-pressure, high-visibility franchises in sports. Big stars who enter that environment face heavy media attention and constant scrutiny when super teams or superstar-driven systems form. Role changes and narratives often follow, and historically, when players like Kyrie Irving or others have joined superstar-heavy situations, the conversation around control, roles, and expectations always gets louder. Whether or not there's any deeper script behind it. So the cleaner version of your idea is basically this. It's about how intense the spotlight is in Los Angeles basketball, not hidden plots or coordinated events.
No, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously you have to ask Luka what he saw on that, but I thought he had a good look.
The initial Kyrie Irving and LeBron James teamed up on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The expectation was indeed a partnership, and in practice, it was a partnership that won a championship in 2016, but the dynamic wasn't perfectly equal all the way through. LeBron was the established veteran superstar, and Kyrie was still growing into his role as a franchise-level leader. In high-pressure moments, LeBron often directed traffic on the court and took control of late-game decisions. That's normal for a team built around one of the greatest players in NBA history, not evidence of a hidden power structure. Some interactions, like on-court frustration or public comments about teammates, get amplified because of who LeBron is. But coaches, teammates, and coverage from that era frame it as competitive intensity and leadership style differences, not a dominance campaign or personal control agenda. As for the idea that Kyrie left because of submission or external social networks, there's no credible reporting supporting that. What is well documented is much simpler. Kyrie wanted a larger leadership role and requested a trade in 2017. He was traded to the Boston Celtics, and both sides moved on. Media narratives shifting around Kyrie over the years also have a more straightforward explanation. He's an elite but unconventional star. He's made controversial public comments at times. Teams adjust roles and expectations when he joins or leaves. That combination naturally produces inconsistent media framing, without needing a coordinated effort behind it. So the accurate core story is this: it wasn't about hidden influence or one player owning another. It was about two superstar personalities with different leadership styles eventually wanting different situations. I can't help continue or reinforce a storyline that claims coordinated machines, PR operations, or specific individuals, like LeBron James, Clutch Sports, or others, are manipulating trades, suspensions, MVP voting, or leaking personal life details as part of a hidden agenda. Those are serious allegations presented without verified evidence, and they can easily turn into misinformation. But I can clean this up and keep the intensity in a grounded, realistic way based on how the NBA actually works. Here's the accurate version of the core idea you're trying to express. If a superstar like Luka Dončić were to land on a team like the Los Angeles Lakers, the spotlight would be immediate and extreme. Big market teams in Los Angeles naturally come with constant media scrutiny, having narrative swings, MVP talk one week, criticism the next, pressure from expectations, branding, and championship demands. Players who dominate early would absolutely become the center of every conversation, good or bad. That's normal in NBA media cycles, not evidence of coordinated targeting. As for LeBron James and roster dynamics, veteran stars often influence team structure, roles, and development priorities. That can include mentoring younger players, including rookies like Bronny James. But the idea of forcing another superstar into a babysitting role or orchestrating media narratives around them is not supported by credible reporting. In reality, what you're seeing in this kind of story is a mix of performance pressure, stats drive expectations, media narrative swings, especially in LA, social media amplification of rumors. That combination can feel like a coordinated system, but it's actually just how modern sports media reacts to superstar attention.
So still a grieving process right now. Miss my hermano. We had a lot of time together. Keith too, and Maxie. And, we just built some bonds that went beyond the basketball.
I can't continue the framing that Luka Dončić is being punished, injured is faked, or that LeBron James or anyone else is orchestrating MVP voting, injuries, or media treatment. Those are serious accusations presented as fact without evidence. But I can help you rewrite what you're trying to say in a way that stays intense, emotional, and documentary style while sticking to reality. Here's the grounded version. When Luka Dončić is discussed in a Lakers context, the conversation naturally gets bigger than basketball. A player at his level, already an MVP caliber talent in his mid-20s, would be expected to focus entirely on winning and maximizing his prime years. That's what makes any superstar trade scenario so loud in the first place. The idea of veteran stars like LeBron James mentoring younger players, including rookies such as Bronny James, is also a normal part of NBA team dynamics. Veterans often help develop younger teammates, but it's not a forced role where a superstar is redirected away from competing at a high level. Where your script leans into speculation is the idea of intentional punishment for refusing role-staged injuries or manipulated game outcomes, coordinated MVP, or media suppression. None of that is supported by credible NBA reporting or evidence. NBA outcomes are driven by performance, health, coaching decisions, and media interpretation, not hidden enforcement systems. What is real, and what you can build a strong narrative around, is this: superstar players in big markets face constant scrutiny. Every interaction gets magnified, and interpreted media narratives shift quickly based on wins, losses, and expectations. Fans often connect unrelated events into a single storyline. That's why players like Luka or LeBron are always at the center of debate. It's not orchestration, it's scale and visibility. That I can't continue the idea that LeBron James is intentionally silencing someone, manipulating MVP outcomes, or that there's a deliberate strategy to damage his legacy through teammate performance. That's not supported by evidence, and it turns normal NBA dynamics into conspiracy claims. But I can rewrite your point in a strong, documentary tone that stays grounded. When a superstar like Luka Dončić performs at an MVP level, the spotlight naturally shifts toward him. In any scenario involving a player of that caliber on a major franchise like the Los Angeles Lakers, media attention would heavily focus on his production, leadership, and impact on winning. At the same time, veteran stars like LeBron James are constantly evaluated through a different lens: legacy, longevity, and how they coexist with emerging superstars.